Obviously, it was well reported on our behalf that His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has secured pledges of over $14 billion on the sidelines of the G20 in New Delhi, India. That was carried by Bloomberg, by Reuters, by several international press, and obviously our domestic media. It would be difficult to say that one is more important than the other, but I would say that the ability of Mr. President to quickly then move directly from New Delhi into Abu Dhabi, where agreements across sectors were being dealt with between the two heads of state, and then moving from there almost within a week to New York City on the sidelines of UNGA, and having the opportunity to engage, the scale of business. So I would say that all of it matters. All of it is important to, as individual puzzle pieces that fit together into this larger puzzle that Mr. President is looking at. I would also say that there's more down the road. You may be aware, welcoming of the German Chancellor, Olaf Scholz, which is a direct result of an engagement that Mr. President had with him during the UN General Assembly, on the sideline. I expect that will be another platform on which we can build further collaboration between Nigerian industrialists and German industrialists for the development of multiple sectors of the Nigerian economy and the creation of jobs and the creation of new wealth and tax revenue for the Nigerian Federation. So there is a lot to look at. If you look at the fact that Mr. President has only been just a few countries, I mean, we've only been to a handful of countries in the first few months of the administration, and you look at the gravity of what he's already achieved with just a few visits, how much over the course of years, when we'll go nation to nation to nation to nation, what will he be attracting from each of these nations in terms of concrete, on-the-ground deliverable investments? I think Nigerians have a lot to be excited about.
All right, so when should Nigerians really expect that all of these achievements and efforts come to fruition?
Well, certainly Nigerians will expect just a larger scale of what they saw in Lagos. When you had new industries coming in, employing Lagosians, providing more revenues that obviously had been even further bolstered by the fact that technology had been introduced to create an efficient tax collection and tax administration system in the state. We are doing the same right now at the federal level through the work of the Tax Policy Reform Committee. And obviously, the FIRS had already done a lot of legwork in terms of what it's going to do to fully maximize the revenues it's already accruing. But in addition to all of that, I think the key thing is when you create jobs and you create more revenue for the state, when you have quality administrators like what Lagos had under Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and now Nigeria will have under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, what we can expect is that as our tax revenues grow by virtue of these new investments that are going to be coming in from around the world, you are going to now have more wealth on the part of the federal administration and state governments, of course, to be able to fund railway projects, seaport and airport projects, power plants, and other critical infrastructure that will obviously further expand our economy and grow our ability to deliver for our citizens. So that's one expectation. The other expectation is obviously the manner with which we can deal with the issue of poverty reduction and alleviation, and hopefully eventually eradication. How do we do that? When we can provide millions of new jobs through the mass intervention of private capital, which runs in consonance with the National Economic Development Plan over the course of the next several years that was introduced by President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. It was always envisaged that now that we are implementing the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, and now that we're expecting over $1 trillion of new investment as a result of that agreement from foreign jurisdictions, we are now in a position to do our part to ensure that we get the lion's share of that new investment coming from abroad because of the comparative advantage we enjoy in terms of market size, in terms of the demographic dividend that I mentioned earlier on, with 70% of our massive population being made up of brilliant, industrious, and really very innovative young people. And we have what it takes to be the hub of investment on the African continent. Now, are we competing with South Africa, Morocco, Egypt, and Kenya, and Ghana, and other countries? Absolutely. But are we uniquely positioned to outbid them in the course of the race for capital with our advantages? Absolutely. And so this is what His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has the track record of proving he can do and will do now as president.